Trapmore gang, you know me for covering the most terrifying, demonic, and gangster rappers that have ever touched a microphone, okay? If you're familiar with my work, you're familiar with King Von, the alleged 7 bodies. I've done documentaries about Youngboy allegedly having 19 bodies, Lil Jeff having 11. But a lot of people ask me, as I come from the UK, who is the King Von of the UK? Who is the big, scary demon from the United Kingdom that's getting busy with the shanks and the swords and the little miniature tiny little pistols and the farmyard shotguns? And people, today I'm going to tell you about possibly the most demonic rapper that is in the UK right now, the alleged King Von of the United Kingdom. I feel like I have to be very careful about what I say in this video, but it is that time, okay? Because this rapper, this is somebody who, you know, they thought he would be doing life in prison. They thought he might not be alive anymore. He has just had a massive milestone, and I feel like it's time that we talked about it, okay? I'm talking about Twin S. So the rapper Twin S from the UK has just released his debut album, Black Sheep, okay? And look, I've been looking forward to this. I've been following this guy very, very low-key for the past couple of years, and he's got a seriously crazy backstory. The fact that he's even still alive in these streets, able to make an album, and it's a fire album. I've given it a listen, okay? He's got some incredible features on there. He's got Heady One. He's got Twin H, his brother, and as I'm going to explain to you, okay? Imagine you're beefing with your ops, okay? Imagine you're beefing with your ops, and, you know, let's say your ops is the most demonic, terrifying soul snatcher that there is out here, okay? Well, imagine you're beefing with the local King Von, and he has an identical twin who is just as tough and demonic and scary and ready to catch a hat as him. Twin S is an identical twin with Twin H. Twin S and Twin H, they're both notorious for running in the streets. They're now both running it up in the rap game. But can you imagine your ops are coming? You think he's got lyrics where he's talking about they think they're seeing double. They think they're losing the plot when we pull up on the ops. So just to give you a little refresher, okay? The rapper, he reps a crew called ACG or anything. I mean, I don't even want to talk too much, okay? I don't want to talk too much, okay? They go by ACG, right? And so they basically came up, all right, under this rapper Young Dizz. Now, this rapper Young Dizz, okay, he had the song Drill and Repent, okay? He was doing this thing. He had a lot of songs out there doing numbers back in the day. Young Dizz is nicknamed the Devil. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. He's nicknamed the Devil, okay, and this is the twins. This is Twin S and Twin H in the Young Dizz Drill and Repent video. And these guys have got a lot of repenting to do. I'm not going to lie to you, okay? They're twins. They're literally twins. They're from an area called the Six. They rep the crew, the collective, I'm going to say collective ACG, all right? Anybody can get it, apparently. And they ran into some serious legal trouble. So the YouTube channel Ape Huncho, shout out to Ape Huncho, man, that's a good friend of mine. He covered Twin S and Twin H's kind of crazy come up and the significant prison sentences they were facing from some serious cases. So let's just have a little recap on what was going on with Twin S and Twin H and just how crazy it got for them in the streets.
2018, officers from the Metropolitan Police's Trident Area Crime Command were observing 3 males who were acting suspiciously around a VW Golf in Britannia Court, Barking, which was owned by 27-year-old Kevin Tashoma. They'd been acting upon intelligence that males were under observation as they were operating as part of a gang which were arming themselves with weapons and making threats to rival gangs via drone music videos. Upon watching the males, they seen Twin H walking into the courtyard because he had appeared from the underground car park and he was wearing a grey tracksuit, black gloves, and an item of clothing was draped around his head and neck. He would open the door to the car and it was here he picked up a bag which had Spider-Man printed on it.
So how terrifying is this, right? It's the details about these cases that really get you going. So, you know, there was some intelligence, whatever the police needed to find out what was going on. They get to this Spider-Man bag. Now, bear in mind, this is the UK. Guns in the UK are a big no-no, okay? We don't be having it. Talk about gun control. Guns in the UK are so rare. If you got guns, if you got a gun, you're a serious problem, okay? So what do you think was in this Spider-Man bag, man? This is terrifying.
Twin H is then seen walking back towards the underground car park. Around this time, a 16-year-old boy who can't be named for legal reasons, who police believe was acting as a lookout, was seen standing in the vicinity for a prolonged period of time. Kevin Tashoma Twin H and the 16-year-old boy were then seen together in the underground car park for a short period of time, and then Kevin appears to enter an address in Britannia Court. Shortly after re-emerging from the address, he's seen carrying a black bag and a baseball bat. The three, that being Kevin, Twin H and the 16-year-old boy, then met back at the VW Golf before entering an Audi and driving off together. At this point, Trident officers gained entry to the VW Golf that had been left behind, and inside the driver's footwell they seized the Spider-Man bag, which contained a loaded shotgun, shotgun cartridges, bin liners, a black revolver, and 4 bullets.
Now, people always like to have little jokes about how the guns in the UK are small, they're tiny, and look, maybe we haven't got the ammunition arsenals that you got in the United States, but this is multiple firearms in that Spider-Man bag, bullets, cartridges. These guys were ready for war. And in the UK, this is very, very serious. This is very, very like dangerous, scary stuff. You can't have this, okay? I know it's a small gun, but that will still get the job done, okay? And that's a big no-no for the UK. So the twins, aka the terrible twins, Twin S and Twin H, they were in serious trouble, all right? And Twin S has got a few lyrics when he's talking about his brother's case and the cases that they had, talking about it wasn't a gun. We didn't get caught with a gun. We got caught with guns. We have multiple guns on the block.
The Audi was stopped a short while later by armed police at around 5:20 p.m. and all three were arrested that same day and taken into custody. Upon searching the Audi, officers found numerous mobile phones, a pair of disposable gloves with gunshot residue on them, 2 walkie-talkies, a baseball bat, and a balaclava. The three would all go on to be charged the next day. All three would be charged with 2 counts of possession of an offensive weapon, possession of ammunition, possession of a loaded revolver with intent to endanger life, and possession of a loaded shotgun with intent to endanger life. There isn't too much details in regards to a super in-depth look at what happened, because it was a fairly simple case by the looks of things, as they were in a sense caught in the act. But in court, what I've explained would have been told to the court. What was told in court though was, upon further forensic examination of one of the cars, I'm unsure which one it was at this current time, a pair of disposable gloves and a machete was found which had the 16-year-old boy's fingerprints on. On the 14th of June 2019, after a 5-week trial at Snaresbrook Crown Court, the three were found guilty on all charges. Both Kevin and Twin H were handed 13-year jail sentences, and because the 16-year-old boy was sentenced.
So look, that's how serious it is. You're getting 13 years over those guns, all right? It doesn't matter how big they are, how these are not things you can have. Guns, machetes, pistols, shotguns. This is a big no-no, okay? So there was a whole lot of trouble. Now, Twin H basically was the one who really went down for that particular case. Twin S had a different situation that he was dealing with, and he ended up coming back first. And eventually they both managed to get out. But what's crazy is Twin S would actually share a detailed account of the day that his brother was taken into custody while he was actually on the way to go and pick him up from jail. So check this video out.
Minutes thinking of taking 30 minutes, got no phone, I'm chilling, bro, yeah? An hour's gone by, bro, my twin ain't come, bro, yeah? Thinking this is getting long, but I know my twin will never leave, man, ever. He'll be there in 5 if he could. Thinking this is getting long, cool. Jump back and call the cab now, it's getting long, call the cab. Go see my mum, yeah? But when I've actually got in the cab, yeah, and I told the cab, let me use your phone quick. Use his phone, logged online, bro. That same day, as my twin's on his way to me, bro, yeah? They've put him on operation, they've already been oboing us for the past couple of months. The reason why I went in jail in the first place.
Obo is observations. That's surveillance. So basically, when British rappers say they're on Obo, it means they're being surveilled. It means the cops are onto them. They're watching their every move.
They've nicked him, bro. Oh, that's how we got this 13 years.
Crazy.
On the way to me, picking me up from coming out of jail for these things, they've just got my twin for them things. I ain't seen him since, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? And
You've not seen him since?
Obviously, I've seen him in jail.
Oh, yeah.
You got 13 years, bro. I ain't seen him since, bro. So now I bear this in mind. I'm going to my mum's house, bro.
So just to clarify what I was trying to say is he's basically explaining that like Twin H went to jail and they were basically meeting up and they were under observation and he ends up getting arrested, going to pick him up, and it's just a mess. Okay. And he says he hadn't seen him in years other than being inside jail. All right. Basically, they're saying that these two were so dangerous they couldn't be around each other. The only way they could be around each other is if they was in jail together. So this is like throwback pictures of them in jail forever. Sorry, together. Not forever. Hopefully not forever. But this is them in jail together, okay? And from what I hear, they was terrorizing the jail, All right, they was terrorizing the prison. They're twins. All right, you can't beef with one of these guys without beefing with the other one. Okay, and they're both on serious activities. Okay, this is not who you want knocking on your cell door in the morning. All right, with an issue, having words with you. Okay, now they did eventually both get released, and they were on the streets at the same time. I know there's been a lot of back and forth. There's been ins and outs. There's been unfortunate situations, but they are actually, from what I understand, I'm pretty sure they're either both back outside now, or Twin H was out for a little bit. He might have got sent back for at least a brief period of time. But what's interesting is that, like, nearly a year after his brother got locked up, that's when Twin S ended up getting incarcerated for allegedly attempting to recover a debt in the streets. But I'm going to let you know a little bit about why they both ended up in jail together, and then I'm going to let you know a little bit about what some stuff that they say they might have gotten away with.
As Twin H sat in jail, Twin S would follow shortly after, because sometime around November 2018, Twin S and 3 other members would go down for torturing the guy who owed them money. So essentially, Twin S and 3 others gave this guy £10,000 with the agreement that he'll flip and order the money to clean it up. A month or so goes by and the money's gone, with the guy making up excuses to buy time and not give back the money. Well, Twin S and the others get tired of waiting, which is when they decide to take matters into their own hands and come up with a plan to kidnap the guy until he finds a way to get their money back. On March 4th, 2019, the group went on with the plan and managed to get the guy into the car, which is when Twin S and the others start punching him in the backseat and force him to make phone calls to family and friends to pay his debt. They would take the guy to a flat in Brixton and bring him to the bathroom, where he was tortured, even going to the point where they poured boiling water with acid on him. The victim would have his skin and hair burnt and beg for his life, and I'm not going to go through everything they done to this guy, but let's just say he was basically living in hell. The victim was making a lot of noise, which is when the gang released him on the condition that he has the money ready by midday and doesn't go to the police. It won't be long until the victim flags down a police car and tells them the situation. Twin S and the rest were charged with false imprisonment, with Twin S getting blackmail, kidnap and robbery added on top of his existing charge, and be locked behind bars in the same wing as his twin brother.
So they're allegedly, I'm going to say, I'm going to be very careful. They're allegedly on kidnappings, robberies, boiling water, bleach, acid, bro. It's insane, all right? Now, that's just the stuff that's been proven. Now, the one case that is, I'm going to be careful what I say about this one, okay? But the one case that everybody talks about with these guys is absolutely wild. All right, so basically, yeah, there was another situation that went down with these guys, okay? And there's a bunch of videos that have been made about this, okay? Please don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not telling, I'm not doing, I ain't done nothing. I ain't even looked into this. I didn't see anything, okay? But there's a bunch of other videos. This is a video about the deadly gang war in Newham, okay? It's got 350,000 views, and it basically touches upon a very, very sad and vicious murder that took place that unfortunately these guys have been associated with, okay? Now, let's just have a little look at what they're saying in this video. I'm not saying anyone did anything, okay? I'm gonna be very careful. But it was a crazy situation, and this was like national news in the UK when this happened.
Conflict in Newham had not received much national coverage, but what would transpire next would shock the entire country of England. CJ, real name Cory Davis Jr., was 13 in 2016. He would be approached by older people and asked to deal drugs. Presumably, he would feel pressured by this, as he would end up telling his mother. CJ had grown up as a good kid, but would be prescribed medication for ADHD when he was 10, and this would seemingly begin to change the attitude within him. At one point, he even had thoughts of taking his own life before he was even 14. He would become increasingly distant from his family, and one day in 2016 he would go missing. His mother would keep ringing him to get hold of him, but she was unsuccessful. This led to her giving the police his phone number. He eventually would make a deal with his mother to come home by the next Sunday. But when Sunday came, CJ came back home and he looked tired, and he had dark eye rings under his eyes as if he had not slept. He had bags of stuff that his mother had not seen before, and he looked itchy. He looked drained according to his mother, but he did not want to tell his mother where he had been. He ended up going into his room, and then his uncle came in and spoke to him, but again he would not tell his uncle where he had been. But CJ's uncle would seemingly confiscate £480 of cash from CJ. Then CJ's mother would come into the room and say, "None of this belongs to you," and she took his bags of clothes from him, saying that she had not bought them for him. This was seemingly a family intervention, as CJ's grandma would also have a deep conversation with him and make it clear that he has to choose between his family and the people outside. He had disappeared for a week and come back with £480. Clearly this was something he had been exploited to do for older people. His mother wanted to build trust with her son, but CJ would tell his mother that he does not want to speak about it. His mother would apply to the council to be moved and speak to council workers and do whatever she could to get away from the area, but was sadly unsuccessful. His mother feared for his life and for him being exploited, and eventually CJ would go to live with his grandfather in the Forest Gate area of Newham. His mum would mention in interviews that the majority of the time this stuff was happening, CJ's voice had not even broken yet, which indicates just how young he was. He was literally a child at this point. It was clear that CJ was going through a change in his lifestyle choices. He had struggled between spending time with family and being stuck in the streets, seemingly being pressured. Growing up, he was caught carrying a knife and arrested for multiple offences, including carrying a bottle of acid prior to the events that would soon take place. Elsewhere, in mid-August of 2017, a UK drill rapper and Southside Newham member would be stabbed multiple times and shot. He would go on to survive. He is accused of being a leader of a gang in Southside Newham, or the 6th. Due to young Dizz having a popular name in the streets, it would be obvious to many that revenge was just around the corner.
But that's young Dizz, who, you know, Twin S and Twin H, allegedly they was, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it in a negative way, but like young Dizz is basically the top dog around Newham, from what I'm hearing, okay? He was literally nicknamed the Devil. And so what happened next? He was attacked. He was hurt really badly. He nearly lost his life. And that just basically led to all hell to break loose in the streets.
We will get back to him later. On the 3rd of September 2017, CJ, Cory Davis Jr., would be on a playground in Forest Gate area of Newham. He had arranged that day to go to his mother's for Sunday dinner, but had convinced her to buy him a pizza and get it delivered to his grandfather's house instead. His mother said that she had a feeling that something was going to happen. She assumed he would be arrested again due to his behaviour. However, CJ would have a far worse fate. CJ would be standing in the playground talking to one of his friends. A Range Rover was in the area. CJ was spotted, and unfortunately, shots were fired, and sadly, 14-year-old CJ would be struck in the head. He lost his life. The killers have not yet been found, but arrests have been made as recent as 2023. We had previously discussed the diss songs aimed at Grinner. At this point, it may seem obvious that the drill genre overall seems to have no rules in what people...
So, okay, there was allegedly some arrests for this. Now, as was covered in 8 Puncho's video, he basically said, okay, that Twin S and Twin H were actually arrested for that murder, but the charges didn't end up sticking. But what's even more crazy is there was an investigation by the Times newspaper, like the actual Times, all right, the big Times newspaper in the UK. They did a whole investigation, a podcast, and they basically said, they made the claim that the twins and young Dizz were responsible, but nobody could prove it. It's actually crazy that they would even hop out and say that, but hey, you know, so that's the big Times. People talk about me talking about bodies, people being responsible for bodies, but like big time saying that. But listen to what 8 Puncho said.
Only a couple of months ago as well, a Times investigation was released where they took a look into the murder of Cory Jr. Davis, or CJ Davis for short, and it was heard for the first time since the case was opened that both twins were arrested in connection with his murder alongside young Dizz, but they went on to be released with no further action as there wasn't any evidence that could link them to the case.
Who has come under suspicion for CJ's murder?
The police have never charged anyone or named any suspects, but we can now reveal the names of 3 of the 4 men arrested earlier in this case. All of these men were released without charge due to a lack of evidence. The first is Isaac Donko. He's known as Young Dizz. According to a cache of police documents first leaked to me 2 years ago, Scotland Yard requested the deletion of one of Young Dizz's rap videos, and a note was added to Crimint, which is a police intelligence database for London. The note made it clear that at that stage, Donko was a suspect, and the police believed that the video was relevant to the murder. The video was called Kermit. Donko was released without charge. It's believed he would have been recovering from his injuries. He was stabbed and shot 2 weeks before CJ was murdered.
So that's one man, Young Dizz. Who are the other 2 that were arrested and released without charge?
The 2 other men arrested are twin brothers. When Young Dizz was stabbed and shot, he was targeted outside the home of twin brothers called Hafed and Sabir Rashid. They're known on the street as Twin H and Twin S.
But yeah, that was the twins case. I know a lot of you requested this one.
So there you go, right? The Times was saying, look, they even believe, they're putting it out there. You want to call me the police, but the Times out here being the police talking about, yeah, these guys, but they can't prove, yeah, all right. So they said it, all right. But anyway, obviously the twins were in and out of jail, but Twin S, obviously, who this video is about, who is, you know, more seriously, taken seriously as a rapper, who's now making music. He basically got out in 2022, okay? And literally from the very, very start, from the moment he got out of jail, because they couldn't put the big crimes on him, all right? The moment he got out of jail, the cops were basically on him. He was under OBO, observation, surveillance, all right? This is basically them being pulled over as soon as he's released, right? He got picked up in the drop-top Rolls Royce. Very fly way to be maneuvering, I'm not going to lie. But they were pulled over immediately. The cops were on them straight away, all right? Literally, immediately stopped by police. And this is actually a clip. That's the cops there if you can't see them. But basically, this was actually included in his sort of comeback music video. But he couldn't even get down the street, all right, without being arrested, okay? Now, they're saying, should be glad he made it out the parking lot while you're screaming fresh home. The feds are hiding behind the gate, getting ready to send you back in, okay? Basically, they couldn't get too far. But interestingly enough, okay, Twin S pretty much fully pivoted into a music career. He managed to get away from the streets, and he's had massive success as a rapper, and he's got millions of views on all of his songs. Like, pretty much nearly everything he's dropping is hitting multiple millions of views, all right? This is his Daily Duppy. This is a legendary kind of UK street freestyle platform, and he's basically explained, he's got his brother on the phone there. He's just terrifying. He is honestly terrifying. I would never want to be on his bad side, all right? And basically, you know, this has got 2.4 million views. Okay, this song with Triggs, this was a banger. Four pipes, you can hear it fart. Lambo truck in the trenches. This one was hard. Mob ties. Okay, this one went crazy. This has got 3.5 million views. But his solo stuff really is what like really caught me and just had me like as on the music side, just on the music side, all right? I'm not a fan of the violence. I'm not a fan of the crimes. I'm not a fan of the crimes. But on the music side, okay, he had a couple songs that went absolutely crazy. This song, Feeling Myself, was hard as hell. That's got 1.3 million views. This song, Again and Again. Really, the two songs that really caught my attention. This track, Again and Again, just went absolutely crazy. Now, look, I'm not trying to be all feddy like the Times, okay, but this does have some, like, these couple of songs, they're bangers, but they have some very, very suspect lyrics. Like, this has this one lyric, he says, we put that boy to sleep by the hill like Lenny of Mice and Men. Like, bro, what? Talking about his brother went jail for they shot the gun again and again and again. You know what I'm saying? Turn and flee that scene. The lyrics are crazy. It says they know what happened that day. They know it was me because they saw my face. He's saying it. All right. He's saying it. I'm not saying he did anything. It's the Times that are saying that he did things. All right. He's saying 2 guns in a Jeep and a chauffeur. I mean, you saw the surveillance footage of what car was being driven. I don't know. I don't know. It must just be really, really creative, okay? But this song, Word to the Wise, might be my favorite Twin S song. This one is a banger. The beat goes absolutely insane. But this song has some very, very suspect lyrics, all right? Listen, you can see the subtitle here. The opening lyric from this song is wild. When you know the case, you know the story, all right? He said, these bullets don't fall from the sky. Everyone knows it was me. They ain't got no proof, but they know what I'm like. Huh. All right. So look, he's wilding out. All right. I'm not responsible for his statements. All right. I'm not responsible for any of what's going on. I just like the music, and the music is a banger. Go and listen to Word to the Wise is one of my favorite UK songs of the last couple of years. Okay. Absolute banger. But interestingly enough, okay, Twin has actually gone viral outside of music a few times for his humor and his personality, kind of, you know, his public interactions, and he's basically got this aura. He's got a song called Aura, funnily enough, all right, and shout out to me as the top comment here, but he's basically got a whole lot of aura as far as just everybody knows he's a madman, everybody knows he's dangerous, all right, everybody knows that they're terrifying, okay, both of the twins is a problem, all right, and they've gone viral a couple of times now because just everyone knows, not everyone knows it was them, but like everybody knows that they're just on absolute madness, all right. This is the officer who arrested Twin S, then got Twin H, then arrested S 2 weeks after he came out, then tried to arrest him when he came out again, and now he's trying to get H when he came out. 5 times he's terrorized the twins. They're going viral, bumping into the same cops. All right, look at this.
No way Gary's here. I can't believe this.
What, you think I wouldn't be here, bro?
There's... I
said it like he's come to a party.
He said it like it's my brethren, bro.
Hey, Gary. Where's Hassan? You missed me. You missed me. I did miss you, bro. You got me for guns already.
He said, did you miss me? You got me for guns already. You got me for guns already, man. Did you miss me? Let me see what the comments are saying. It is actually crazy. People are saying, you think I wouldn't be here, bro? They're saying he's got passion for the game. All right. Reminds me of the bad kids, that one teacher who hated but also loved them. They're saying he's the Noom equivalent of PC Porter or Cockeye. Some of these undercovers got unmatched love for the game. The only way to win against these man is to go legit, all right? They're saying everybody wins when they go legit. They're saying Gary's gassed all the man them at home. He can get back to work now. Gary's been crossing days off the calendar for months, screaming free Twin H. Man said it like he's at the party, all right? Real life officer Tenpenny. They're saying it's crazy. You wouldn't even know he's an officer if he didn't have that camera and radio on him, right? So Twin S and Twin H just be going viral for all these type of things constantly, okay? This is them showing off their car to the feds. They be hanging out with the feds more than the man them.
They call it hydraulics.
This is them getting pulled over in the Maybach. They're showing him how the hydraulics work.
Tell him again, Twin.
Yeah,
what's
no,
that?
We can go. Look, I'll start again.
Show him again. I'll biggie show him again, bro. Show him again.
Free driving, man. Look, nah.
You get me? All right, then. You ain't seen nothing like it before, still. You ain't seen nothing like it.
Listen, man. All right. Seriously. They're saying, I've seen this fed on here before. You driving rentals, boys. Behave yourself. So people saying it's weird to see roadmen being cool with the cops. I'm used to them being complete dickheads to cops. They're saying it's the ones who are dickheads that end up having issues with the police. S is known to the gang unit, but stuff like this makes the police ease off a bit. They're saying people, including the police, won't be dicks to you if you treat them decently and act friendly. A lot of roadmen don't seem to get this, right? So they tapped in, saying they'll miss it when they're in jail, right? But seriously, there's all types of viral moments that the twins have gone and had. This is Twin S and Buta B. This is them shooting shotguns legally, all right? Legally shooting shotguns at the Clay Pigeon shooting range. And Buta B is another rapper from the UK. He's doing his thing now. That's a story for another day. But they're saying they know what they're doing with these shotguns, man. Look at this one. Twin S slapping it off. Was that Buta?
Oh.
Twin.
Very good.
Whoa.
I think he might have done that before. All right, they're saying he got a super villain laugh. All right, they have experience holding guns. Don't lie. All right. Why is Twin S so smooth with it? They're saying he's been smooth with it. All right. They're saying he's been smooth with it. All right. Is what it is. Okay. There's been a few funny moments where Twin S has gone viral, man. This is him with Billy the Goat. I've done Billy the Goat stream as well, man. So shout out to him. But they linked up before, okay? And they're saying that he's you know what I'm saying? He's a demon, but he's funny, all right? He's got a personality too.
I'll give you a fun fact why I actually can't fight the England, bro, yeah? I'll go on Google. Where's Google? The biggest viral you're gonna hear in your life, bro, yeah? What is the quickest war in history? The Anglo-Zanzibar fucking war. They mashed us up in 30 fucking minutes.
No! What's been mashed up in 30 minutes?
They mashed up the man in 30 fucking minutes.
What kind of war is that, G?
No fucking war in England, bro.
30 minutes, bro.
38 to 45 fucking minutes.
Bro, what the fuck, bro?
Listen, they're saying, bro, sometimes the war goes left, you lose. The Anglo-Zanzibar war. That is actually crazy, man. So look, all right, just to take things seriously, okay, Twin S, he is basically doing big moves in the music industry, and he's got the backing of one of the most legendary and one of my favorite rappers from the kind of road rap era of music, okay, Pot of Paper. Now, Twin S, he's tapped in with EGA Distro, okay, shout out to Colin, he's kind of a big mogul from the UK who gets a lot of rappers and puts them on, okay, this is the twins together with Colin, all right, this was a big moment, and they're basically doing all of this as part of Pot of Paper, who is another legendary street rapper, okay, he's had some crazy cases. Shout out to Pot Paper, go and follow him. All right, basically through his 3-6 label and EGA distribution, okay, they're actually making big moves in the business side of things. And now, as of 2025, okay, it seemed like Twin S and Twin H were actually back outside together. All right, both free, had their freedom back, finally. All right, this isn't what I thought it was. Hang on. All right, this is them
released from prison.
Fresh home. Okay, let me turn that music off so I don't get in trouble. But the Fresh home, as soon as they got out of jail, they was recording a music video, okay? They ended up collaborating on a very high-profile plugged-in session, and this was actually crazy. The reason this was so crazy, I can't play you the song, right? But it's like, this was like a freestyle. They got all the members in there, okay? This was a freestyle where they both rapped together, all right? They're literally identical twins. They sound pretty much the same, all right? And just like the stuff they're talking about in this song is just absolute madness. Okay, you like if these guys are your ops, it's a very, very long day for you. Like, these are some of the lyrics from that plugged in session, okay, and they were going pretty crazy with it, right? I see that boy trying to cross the road. He can't see me, but I can see him because I'm out of his sight. If I get this right, oh my. He says a lot of crazy stuff, all right, saying they make drilling look easy. I just got 2 in a day. How greedy. All right. Let's circle the block and fill it with shells. We've done it before. Let's do it again. Bro, calm down, all right? You're going to have PC Gary on your case again, all right? You got to be careful, okay? I don't even want to point out too much from this, okay? But they're talking wild in this, all right? They're talking absolutely wild in this song, all right? They got two tings, but we're not on a date. I think that's him. Yo, cover your face. Oh, my days, that's him right there. Bow, bow, let's skate. Now, it's all in, I'm sure it's all entertainment. I'm sure it's all entertainment, okay? But recently, okay, Twin S just performed his new headline show, right? It's his first time properly rocking out on his own stage. I actually wish I was there. Couldn't make it, unfortunately. But went crazy, okay? Went absolutely wild to basically celebrate the release of his new project, okay, that I told you about at the start of this video, Black Sheep. It is a banger. So go and listen to that. All right, go and show Twin S some love. All my American fans, okay, this is who you need to tap in with from the UK. This is the realest, the baddest, the most gangster, the most notorious UK rapper right now, okay? You gotta enjoy this while it's going on. Okay, so that's me stamped, all right? And you know what I'm saying? Hopefully Twin ain't offended by this video. Hopefully you're rocking with this video, because I definitely ain't trying to have no problems with him, man. But shout out to Twin S, shout out to Twin H, man. I feel like they're doing big things for the drill scene in the UK. I feel like as far as the music goes, they're actually making big strides. And look, they're doing something positive with their lives now. Enough said. All right, so let me know what you thought of that breakdown. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I've got some more US stories coming for you today, so I will be recording a whole bunch more stuff, and I've got something dropping on the main channel very, very soon, hopefully in the next few days, so just stay tuned for that, man. But appreciate you watching this breakdown. I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.